Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Give me just a moment while I bring up my Facebook on my iPad so I can see you guys. I hope that everyone has had an amazing weekend and a great start to your week. We have got some major things happening in the world. I'm sure that many of you are feeling it, and if you're not, well, I'm sorry, but something's going on. And I kind of want to talk about some things today. Where am I? There I am. Okay, sorry, I keep looking away. But I want to make sure I can see you guys as you comment. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Twitch, let me know. If you're watching over on YouTube, let me know. If you're watching on Facebook, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And so, what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to kind of continue or rehash something that I said last night on the messengers. Because I know that not everybody who catches these live streams watches that show, which is absolutely fine. I completely understand. It's kind of a commitment every week to take part in that and watch it. Uh, but something that has really come to my attention is paying attention to the small things that you do. So many times we want to make changes and we want to see these major life altering, obvious explosions of change. And we get so caught up in that hope and that expectation that we lose the focus for what we are actually doing and what we're actually accomplishing. So when you are making those small shifts and you're moving through things and making the changes that you want, it might be a little bit difficult at first, but just keep going, keep doing the things, because the smallest things have the greatest impact. I got reminded of that in my personal reading this morning. The magician came up reversed for me, and it was the perfect metaphor came in for it about remembering that a couple drops of water in a rainstorm eventually create a river. You may not see it, it might seep into the ground, but the more that it goes on, the more rain that falls, the more change that happens, the more that river develops. And you may never see the actual river develop, but just keep pushing through, keep making the changes, keep going through them. And give yourself permission and the grace to know that what you're doing, as long as you are aligned with it, is going to come to fruition. It's going to make an impact. It's going to make an impact on your life. It's going to make an impact on those around you. So celebrate the small things. Celebrate them big, because you may not get the chance to celebrate the really big things if you don't, because you'll be so focused on getting to those big things that you'll miss the little things. And trust me, the small things matter, especially when you are making the moves to better yourself, better the world around you. And I pulled a collective for the day, and I pulled from the Sacred Path cards by Jamie Sams. Bless that woman for what she left, because the messages that she left behind when she transitioned from this world to the next are just astounding and crazy. You know, frame of mind, whether or not something's crazy. But something that just hits me is that the collective is almost mirroring my personal from this morning, and it two different decks, because I don't use the same deck for my personal most of the time. Okay, So we're going to start off with the West Shield. And the main character of the West Shield is the bear and bear medicine. And it's asking you to look at what your goals are. What are they? What's your tomorrow? Because in the West, it talks about the tomorrows and what you're hoping for, what you're trying to get to, where you're trying to go. And being in the Western Shield, it's talking about the acknowledgement of our inner strengths. What can you do? What can you control? Because so many times we're so focused on what we can't control and trying to alter that we lose sight of our actual strengths and building on those, and getting caught up in the shoulds and the fears of what you may or may not get. And it's so easy, I know this personally, to make an identity of fear and let that hold you back from doing what it is that you want to do, what you wake up. What do you wake up in the morning loving? If you can't answer that question, it's time to go inside and search for that. Ask yourself, what is it that I love about my life? What is it that drives me each and every day? And once you establish that, move towards it. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Not 100%. We can have an idea. You can tap into other psychics and ask them, and they can be like, oh, well, tomorrow you're going to do this. And they can look at the astrological chart and say, okay, well, this is going to happen at this time. And you can live by that kind of guide if you want to, but you still don't know all of the intricacies that are going to happen along the way. So there's still the unknown factor that you have to get through. Embrace that. Embrace that as a challenge, as something exciting to look forward to about whether or not you're going to make those moves towards what it is that drives you. And give yourself the courage and the grace to look. What is it you want? What is it that you want? Next up, she has the fire medicine for us. What? And it goes right hand in hand with what I just said, because what is that fire within? What drives you? Is it just in ash and needs some logs on the flame? If so, go get them. Tend to it. If you don't have enough energy, what are you not providing for yourself? Are you not getting enough rest? Are you not getting enough hydration? Are you not getting enough decompression time where it's just you and your thoughts? Or you without your thoughts? Because that's a possibility too. Because many times many of us will spend time alone and get lost in the thoughts of that aloneness and not just let it slide away. Or you're not alone enough and you've constantly got people nattering at you all around. Can you do this for me? I need that. And do you have the energy to give? If you don't have the energy to give and you find yourself exhausted all the time, it's time for something different. It's time to take a look at it differently. And you can create your own adventure and excitement. But are you willing to allow yourself joy? Sydney Banks used to say that it's unnatural for the human experience not to be joyful. It's unnatural. Yet we make all of the negative natural. Only because it's easier. Why? We don't know. No real explanation. Except I'm going to talk about that after the collective. Finally, standing people. And standing people are trees. in Native traditions. In the wind, they sway back and forth, yet they stand tall if the roots are strong. I think this came up last night on the messengers as well with the Tree of Life in that collective reading. And it's also asking you to give more of yourself if you can, if you want to, if you have the energy, if you have the capability, if you understand reciprocity, if you can give without the expectation of return. Because so many times we tie, okay, I'm going to do this for them, and later on I'm going to expect that they do something for me as well. Release that expectation when you give of yourself. Now, comes to mind immediately that, okay, well, I have a job to do, and if I do my job, they're going to pay me. That's an agreement. That's an agreement you made. So you do your job, and they give you an exchange for it. If they don't have the exchange to do, then they're not going to have a job for you to do. Understand that? They may not have the capability of providing what you need because they don't have it. So you can knock on their door for a job all you want, but if they don't have it, you're not getting it. Okay, next. So where are your roots at? What are you capable right now of giving without expectation in return? Check in. Check in yourself. Get outside a little bit more. Notice how the roots hold those beautiful trees to the ground. Notice that. And imagine that you do the same thing. Notice that you are stronger than you give yourself permission to be, or even credit for. Notice these things. Because you have survived for days, years, decades. You're still standing. Even for those who can't. You're still here. So something about your roots are strong. There's a life cycle for every living organism on this planet. There's a life cycle. Beginning, middle, and end. And most of us, you're in the middle. You're not at the end. So celebrate that. The last thing I want to talk about today, and then I'm going to hop off, is feeding the negative. This came up in a conversation yesterday with a dear friend, and I also brought it up last night on the messengers, but I'm going to bring it up again today. Excuse me, gas. Because it's important. I got pushed to make sure that I talked about this today. And I talked about it at the very end of the show last night, like I just said. How much attention we give to the negative. We give so much attention to it. In the media, in videos, social media, news, sorry, repeating myself, conversations, gossip. We give so much attention to that. And when people do things wrong or hurtful to someone else, they are so rewarded for that. Yes, this is a scolding to humans that get to see this, because all of us are guilty of feeding the negative events in our lives. We hold on to it, we talk about it, we just keep going round and round in circles, feeding it, rewarding those who put us in that position time and time again. Oh, well, I got attention from it. I'm just going to keep doing it because that's how it is. But how much attention do we give to the positive? You can see positive as you scroll through your Facebook or your Instagram or TikTok. You can see the positive videos. You know that they're out there. You watch them. And you get a good feeling when you watch them and you scroll by, and that feeling is forgotten because there is something else where, oh, well, this person just did that. I'm not going to name names. You know who we're talking about. And even if I'm not directly pointing to them, your mind just went there. So when you see something that really moves you, celebrate that, reward that. When you see someone doing something good for somebody else, reward that, make it larger, make it longer lasting. It's so easy to fall into complaining. I know. For decades, I did nothing but complain to everyone who would lend an ear to me about it. I get sick of it. And eventually, you're like, I need something else. This is your call. This is the call to anybody who sees this video to make that change. It starts small, like I talked about at the beginning. It starts small. Start celebrating more of the good stuff. Feed that. Watch the shift that happens as a result. Because we're going to start seeing it. But only if we start doing it as individuals. So, soapbox off. All right. One reminder, real quick, about Risers in Flight. The next call is this coming Sunday. And don't forget, anybody who is in my Evolve and Emerge group over on Facebook, they will have free access to be able to join that call. I have decided to open it up to the public that are in my group, and anybody can join. The only difference is, once again, that if you're not a subscriber, I love you and I'm not paying attention to you. I don't, that came across a little rude, but you get the idea that I will welcome anybody that is in there. I'll say, hey, how you doing? But as far as coaching and readings are concerned, those are going to be for members or those who do a one-off in the call only. So just want to put that out there. It's 1 p.m. this Sunday, March 30th. And it's going to be a good call. I'm looking forward to it. So I hope to see more of you there. And I will see you back here next Tuesday. I may start doing a few more of these start doing random lives. But Tuesdays at noon, I'm going to go ahead and keep, even if it's 12:02 when I start. So have a great week. Love you. I love you. All of you.